Okay. Now it's just playing. So I just have it on record for you.
Okay. All right. So, welcome back to the second episode of the podcast. I guess this is the second one since Whispers was the first. Today I have...
Hello! It's me! It's Maekan. Hi, I'm Maekan.
All right. So, I guess just for the people who don't know who you are, what you do, well, you already introduced yourself as Maekan, but what do you do on YouTube or online? What are your talents, strengths, and I guess what is your favorite flavor of ice cream?
Nice. Okay, I love icebreakers. Okay, so hi, I'm Maekan Kouya. I am a voice actress on YouTube, and I also edit comic dubs. Sometimes I don't really voice act a lot, as of lately, but I kind of just do video editing for other people now. And favorite flavor of ice cream would probably be cookie dough.
Nice. I would have to say, like I said in the last podcast, but mine is a toss-up between cookie dough or orange sorbet.
Oh, sorbet is so good too.
Yeah. Although lately I've been getting a lot more of the yogurt substitute.
Ooh.
Partially because a couple of months ago I was actually on a cruise ship and they had a free ice cream bar. It was like more or less 24 hours, and so like we just got a bunch of ice cream and I kept on getting the yogurt, the frozen yogurt, because like I don't think I can handle that much dairy.
I feel like frozen yogurt's convenient.
Pretty much. Like taste wise it's okay, I can handle it. One of my friends who was with us on the cruise, he's like slightly lactose intolerant, and he decided to try to set a record for himself of eating 25 ice cream cones over the course of the weekend.
But won't that be bad for like
Yes, it was very bad for him.
Oh
yeah, I recorded a little bit of him just like going back and forth to the ice cream machine and back. I can kind of like see the workers in the background like staring at him.
Oh no.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the ice cream was the only reason that I didn't like get super seasick on the cruise, other than the actual medicine. Because oh boy, once that boat started moving, I was completely out of it for a little while.
Oh geez, I've never been on a cruise before. I've always dreamt of like going on a cruise, but I've never really had the chance to.
Yeah, it's really nice. We went to LA, I think, when we disembarked, and then we went somewhere near I forget the exact city, but it's like somewhere outside Mexico.
Huh.
And we docked there for a little bit, and some of the passengers got off and they got to like go around and see the sights. And I stayed on the boat because I was watching all the kids and because I didn't feel like walking around and going back on the boat and then feeling more motion sick. I think it was the worst the first night because the boat started moving in the middle of dinner.
Oh.
And like a little tip is eat or take the motion sickness medicine before you get on the boat.
I was gonna ask if they
bring some.
it.
No, just bring some. Like whatever.
I was gonna say. I was like, oh.
No. Whatever like medicine or motion sickness medicine you like your parents bring or whoever, take that before the boat's moving. Otherwise, you'll do what I did, and I kind of like hovered outside the bathroom for like a good half an hour before I didn't actually puke, but like finally there was like a lull in the ride where I was able to like stumble my way back down to my cabin and just sleep. And then my parents gave me motion sickness pills, and then...
Well, I'm glad you had a fun time though.
Yeah, all right. So one thing that I normally do in these kinds of things is it's something that my youth group calls hypes and gripes. So we say one thing that happened to us this week that was like not the best, like that would be a gripe, and then something that is a hype would be something good that happened this week. It doesn't have to be this week, but like something recently. So like for me, a gripe would be that I had my root canal appointment, which you know about. So because this is my second one in like a couple of weeks, I can't chew on either side of my back teeth.
Oh no.
So it didn't help that our company decided to have a steak lunch today.
Oh no.
So I did not eat steak today, but like I was fine eating like a cheesecake.
I'd be devastated. Oh no.
But one hype that did happen was that I managed to make some progress in a lot of my projects, because lately I've just been kind of holding off on drawing or editing music or recording music, and I feel like I actually made some decent progress, partially because I was stuck at home because of the root canal appointment, so there's a positive to that.
Oh.
Right. So your turn.
Okay, let's see. Gripe would probably be, I had a midterm on was it Thursday? Yeah, I had a midterm on Thursday, and that was the first midterm of the semester. So I was super stressed about it because I was trying to give myself some motivation, like, okay, you study for this, you're gonna be okay. But then I had like a small nervous breakdown. I was just like, okay, but what if I'm not gonna be able to get it, even though it was only the first semester and the very first midterm? But it turned out okay. There was only like 25 questions on the midterm, so I was just like, oh, whew. And most of it I knew, so I'm just like, oh, God bless. And he changed the option from closed notes to open notes, so I was okay. I was perfect. Goodness. I guess that's also a hype, but probably another good thing, a good thing that probably happened this week would be today. Actually, it wasn't too bad. Like I had brunch and then I had work. It was just kind of like my day off today, so it was very chill and a good way to end the week, I guess.
All right, nice. Yeah. Oh man, that's that feeling when it's open notes though.
Oh God, I sighed in relief. Okay, because my class starts at 6 p.m. And I got there around 5:45 because I had work that day. So I left work early, and I told my coworker, I said, hey, I need to leave early because, I have a midterm today. And she was like, yeah, totally. I got you. I'll cover you. So I left work earlier, like 10 minutes earlier than usual, and I got to school and I was walking in class. It was 5:45 and I already see like people taking the test. I was just like, oh my God, shoot, am I late? So I ran towards my classroom and I walked in, but I had to compose myself because I didn't want like the whole student, like I didn't want like everybody to look at me all weird,
Right.
And so I walked up to the front, grabbed my test, and then he said, oh, it's open notes, by the way. And I'm just like, oh, it is? And then he replied, yeah, then there's some short answer questions on the back. After that, then you're done. You can leave when you're done. I'm just like, okay. So I took my seat, and I looked at it. I'm like, oh, I know everything on here. And I zoomed, like, it just felt so good.
Oh, man.
It just felt so good.
Jeez, I know that feeling. What's it called? There was one time I was taking like this computer science class, and the final was at like, I want to say 9 in the morning, and at the time I lived like a good 15 minutes away from campus. So set my alarms, made sure I got all my study notes. Teacher gave us the one sheet of paper that we could fill out to the limit.
Right.
You know the student thing where you write really small.
Yeah.
So did all that, prepped myself, went to bed, and then I woke up to find that my phone had died. I had not plugged it in.
Oh.
And it turns out that it was 10. I was an hour late to the midterm, or no, the exam. I don't know if it was a midterm, but it was a pretty big exam. I was an hour late plus like the 15 minutes to drive there. I did not even bother picking up my backpack. I didn't bother changing out of my pajamas. I grabbed a number 2 pencil, an eraser, my notes, and just, went out the door.
Oh my God.
And then my school was on an uphill. So parking lot's at the bottom of the hill, classes are at the top of the hill. So you can imagine this like tiny panicking Asian kid looking like person just in pajamas, just running up looking for all the world like a little like middle schooler.
Oh my gosh.
I'm short.
I kind of have that.
Yeah, so I got in. I managed to just barely pass the exam, which is good. They still allowed me to take a seat.
Oh, nice.
Which is one of the good things of college is, at the very least, some teachers are nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some are not so good, but that's a story for a storytime animation someday.
Yoo-hoo.
But yeah, I'm glad that I don't have to take those exams anymore.
I'm almost done. I just need this semester, and then I'm gonna take like a summer semester. And I've been looking at internships too.
Yeah.
Recently, my friend sent me an internship for, it was like Cinefest or something, and it was funny because the benefits, or CineQuest, so the benefits for it, because I'm a graphic design major, right? So one of the benefits, on the very bottom, it says festival swag. I kind of just looked at it, I'm like, wait, are you serious? Fine print.
Must have been like very small fine print.
Yep.
Let's talk about that a little bit. So what exactly do you do graphics design wise for your YouTube channel?
Well, besides of like, you know, being graphic design as like the major base, I wanted to get into visual effects, which kind of brought on to what the YouTube channel is, and how I would put together a story with all of like, you know, with the help of actors and actresses online, and kind of just like slowly keying things together is kind of what brought the interest and brought up the channel, I suppose. So I guess that's how I would explain it.
Yeah, I mean, technically, I started doing that with comic dubs of my own little comics, but I've always been like fascinated by comic dubs in general. Like not just the ones that you do where it's like the small comics, but then like the bigger projects. So to the point of like Siren's Lament, for instance, or Where Tangents Meet, like the bigger webtoon comics, or like, I don't know. It's like that midway point between just reading the comic and actually seeing a full-blown animation. Like you get some semblance of movement, but you can focus more on the voices, if that makes sense, rather than the acting.
Right.
And I've always found that fascinating to me, especially because, like, as someone who loves animation and someone that I know how much work goes into animation. It's like, especially with like YouTube, where you want to try and cut corners to post more. Like this, it looked like a good avenue to go, but at the same time, just doing those kinds of projects also takes a lot of work, a lot of time. A lot of like small things, like you have to know about sound design, you have to know about like comedic timing, you have to know like, I don't know, how to level music, how to like mix so that everything can be heard properly, and so on and so forth. Like I had some skill in that from other things that I've tried on YouTube, but I don't know, it just appeals to my interests. So
it's kind of like all of like the little simple things that you probably won't see as like a as if you're a part of the audience, like mixing mixing like the background noise out from someone's audio makes like a huge difference from like when it's clean rather than when it's not clean. You can hear, you know, for example, someone speaking in the background.
This is like perfect timing right now.
Exactly, see? So, but yeah.
Yeah, a lot of the people that will be watching this or listening to this podcast, they're mostly from the storytime animation community. And depending on who's watching, at whatever skill level that they're at, a lot of what they do kind of translates into what you do in terms of your dubs. Because it's like you have the different voice lines, you cut it up and level it to make sure everything is heard properly, background noise, sound effects, and then you do that like in time to animations or like frames. So like say for instance a comic dub where it's like you do a panning shot and like it kind of looks like the person like walks into frame and then they're like speaking, and then like how I started with storytime animation is actually that exact thing. You have the person talking and then it's literally just keyframing the frame into existence.
Yeah.
And I consider that animation. A lot of tutorials for After Effects call that keyframe animation, and then there's the whole debate on what is animation and what isn't, and I don't know. I don't know. I just think that people will find that fascinating to see like a different way of using voice lines and a different way of, you know, showing content.
It's a unique way to show someone's creativity on how they would imagine to put this piece together.
Yeah.
I guess that's the fascination of comic dubs and content creators who do comic dubs.
Yeah. There's a little bit more emphasis on the voice, though. Because, like, say for instance, Phil has a very iconic voice. Do you want to give like a little spiel on who Phil is?
So Philsterman 10 is, I would say he's probably an original voice, like, he's one of those type of content creators who has been in the comic dub industry for a pretty long time. As in, like, he has comic dubs from, like, 2011. He is striving to be a professional voice actor, which I hope he will be soon, because he has the talent for it.
He does.
And he's an amazing person in general. He's also really nice and very approachable.
Yeah, I mentioned that because a lot of what he does is really inspiring, especially the way that he controls his voice, because he has a very, like, he can do a very deep voice if he wants to.
Oh, yeah.
And he can do a very, like, sexy voice if he wants to. I think you know this more than me because of what you guys have worked on together.
Okay, I'll admit, okay, like in the very beginning when I first worked with Phil, I was very nervous because, again, like what you mentioned about Phil being very inspiring, especially with his work, he was also one of those type of people that inspired me to make comic dubs because of the way he kind of visually moved each panel per keyframe. I was fascinated by it. I was just like, I want to try that. So I guess that's also how I got into this voice acting community through this inspiration. And when I first got his lines for the fourth episode of Siren's Lament, I was flustered as heck. I was just like, wait, is it really okay for this person to go up to the mic and just chuckle like that? Like, is it really that possible?
Oh my goodness. Yeah, because I remember listening to that episode, I think, and just like being floored. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Being a voice actor has its wonders.
Yeah.
You have the ability to manipulate how your voice should sound for a designated character or something. It's amazing. Voice actors are amazing.
Yeah. And then the really iconic ones who have this, like, they've really carved out their own unique, like, character out there. So, like, what's it called? Like, say for instance, Ruka. Ruka has
amazing.
Ruka has a very distinct voice, in my opinion. But it's like I see some of her dubs of, say, My Dear Cold-Blooded King. And it's like, I can physically imagine, like, if this became an animation, like a full-blown anime, that, you know, I could imagine her voice being that voice for that character, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's like, as you kind of, you know, follow within the journey of, like, for, say, this series, right? The My Dear Cold-Blooded King series, it kind of melds into, like, a more iconic character voice. And you can't hear nothing else besides that voice.
Yeah.
So, I see what you mean.
And then on the terms of, like, people that inspire you, I think that's something that I kind of strive for is, I don't know, to be a type of figure that people can, like, see what I do and think, like, man, I want to try and learn to do that. And I think, like, at some point I have achieved that through, like, piano especially, because I know a few of my friends who, like, started doing more music and YouTube stuff as a result. But it's like, to us, we're just regular people.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like, you, me, and Whisper, we talk to each other. You talk to Phil, Ruka, and so on. Like, who are the other people that you looked up to that you just talk to normally?
Phil for one, Ruka's another. Recently, I started talking to Joe Goffney. Joe Goffney is also Dr. Bonehead online. He runs the Tower of God series and Rebirth.
Oh, nice.
And Samuel Parrish. He is the one that's in charge of the My Dear Cold-Blooded King outro credits.
Okay.
And I'm trying to think of like another, like the top of my head. Fishy Fried. She goes by Molly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, there's like tons of other people like I befriend, but besides them, my friends also like Senpai Riku, Maddykins, Baskerville, all of like my other online friends that I'm really friendly with. There's just so many really talented voice actors, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely.
I can't just say them all.
Well, yeah, of course.
I wish I can, though, but I can only name so many.
No, it's cool. It's cool that I consider you guys friends. I would say close friends, especially since like I don't have too many like IRL friends that aren't from like family or church groups or whatnot. Mm-hmm. Yeah, just like being able to talk to you guys, and then from an outsider's perspective, they look up to people like us. I don't know. I find it weird.
Oh, me too.
Were you about to say that?
Yeah, because my friend, Ali Z Nation, she's going to be in charge of a comic dub series called Luff. And we were talking one day, and she mentioned to me, because I was editing something for Ruka. Mm-hmm. Lately, I've been doing a lot more of the filler episodes for Ruka. Okay. So I would edit that, and I recently did her intro card, or her second season of the My Dear Cold-Blooded King opening series. But I was editing something, and then Ali mentioned to me, she's like, oh, I'm just so fascinated by the way you edit. I'm just like really inspired by how you edit. I'm just like, really? Wait, what? You're inspired by me? Like, it's I still find it odd how people would message me and tell me, oh, I kind of did this and I was kind of inspired by you, so I hope you liked it. I'm like, oh, wait, me? Like, wait, what? Like, I don't know. It just baffles me, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I mentioned this in like a live stream with Anna Pantsu a little while back, but like I look back on what my YouTube covers have done, like not just like the far-reaching ones, like the medley and whatnot, but like listen, like the thing that got me was like one of my friends, like he messaged me for just some random thing, and he told me that he listens to my cover of Here Comes a Thought on piano, and he also listens to Anna Pantsu's vocal cover, and he says that he listens to it whenever he's feeling like anxious or depressed, and it actually like calms him down, cheers him up.
Oh, I like that piano cover.
And like in my head, like I'm still baffled by it because a little behind the scenes, I kind of did that off the top of my head. That entire cover, that was mostly off the top of my head because I got the chords for it, I got the guitar chords for it, and this was maybe like a couple of days after the song actually aired. And what happened was like I thought I can't really do drums or make it sound like all techno or however it sounded originally. And so I was like, what is the most opposite thing that I can do for this song? And I was like, people like piano covers. At the time I was listening to a lot of like piano versions of Disney songs and whatnot, so I was like, let me try like a piano jazzy type lullaby thing. And then because originally I was going to make it like an actual cover where like I would play the melody out the whole time, but this was a little bit after I interacted with Caleb Hiles. Yeah, so for those of you who don't know who Caleb Hiles is, he's a pretty up there YouTube singer. He's covered a lot of like anime openings and other songs. He's done a lot of Steven Universe stuff, and he does voice acting too recently. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I don't know if you know like Jello Apocalypse.
Oh yeah.
So Caleb actually voiced some stuff for one of his videos, or actually a couple of his videos.
Well, let me check.
Yeah, I think it's one of them is like the Pokemon singing one, but yeah. So what Caleb did was he took one of my covers, and rather than playing out the whole cover by itself, he actually looped part of it where I was actually just playing whatever rather than the melody, and he turned it into like a karaoke track. and I was just fascinated by the impact that it gave to the song. Like, it gave like so much more depth and meaning to it. And I was like, okay, let's try this. Rather than doing a melody, let's try and do like kind of more of a backing track. Like, I still had the lyrics on screen so people could sing to it, but like it was that video that kind of like set open the floodgates per se, because people not only started messaging me and commenting saying like, hey, this sounds beautiful, but what weirded me out at the time was that people were saying, hey, can I use this for a cover? Can I use this for a cover? And like, I didn't know how to respond, so literally each and every single comment I replied with, yeah, just credit me and
I think
thank
that's how
you.
you and I met too.
Yeah, that's how I met you, is because of you wanted to cover the song.
Here Comes the Thought.
It was that exact song, Here Comes the Thought. And then like a little bit after that, I don't know if it was before or after you commented, but like I was at a Christmas party, and at the time, my girlfriend at the time, she had introduced me to Anna Pantsu's channel, and like I didn't know who she was. I listened to a couple of her Disney stuff, and like I was like, cool, okay, I'll subscribe. I started listening to more of her stuff, and I was like, okay, yeah, she has an amazing voice. I really love her videos, and I thought nothing of it until like like I said, I was at a Christmas party. I like turned on my phone data, and I just got flooded with like subscribers and comments out of nowhere, and I was like, there's no way. And then I went, what I do is I go to YouTube search bar and I just type in Spywi, and then I just sort it by like this month or this week. And I was like, who posted a cover and who actually credited me? So I see the top result is from a certain Anna Pantsu, and it was climbing in views much more than my actual video. And I was like, no, this has got to be a coincidence. And then I listened to it, and I completely freaked out because she did the most beautiful harmonies over it, and I was like,
so
oh
beautiful.
my gosh. But it's like, nowadays I can it's to the point where nowadays I literally can just talk to her, and like the starstruck feeling has kind of worn off now, and I kind of just talk to her like a normal person. Like, I don't want people to listen to this and think like, oh, I'm bragging, or that like I'm so in with like the popular people, because no, that is not it. That is not it by any means necessary. It's like, I don't know if it's like,
it's just that you're comfortable.
Yeah, I'm comfortable now. I'm not, because like I go to her live streams every now and then, and I see people spamming like, oh, you're the goddess of singing, or like, you know, can you teach me to sing, or how are you so good at singing? And then me, I'm like, I know about a lot of her behind the scenes stuff. I know how hard she works, and I'm able to like bounce stuff off of her, like questions, or like there was this one time where I was in like a group live stream with her, and I think she mentioned at some point that she wanted to, as a joke, do like a cover of Africa by Toto, but she wanted to do it in a completely different way. And that same night I recorded my version of Africa by Toto as a piano lullaby version. I sent it to her, and she was just like, I'm dying. and now people listen to that video, and they're just like, this is the best meme ever. But it like, kind of bringing it back to what I was saying earlier, it's like, yeah, people look up to us, and it's weird that, you know, people are inspired by us, but at the end of the day, we're still just humans. It's like, as long as you guys aren't harassing us or like spamming us, like, talk to us, we're cool. Yeah, like, if anything, we're more scared of each other than talking to fans. Should I bring that up, or no? Do you want me to cut that out?
No, that's totally fine. That's totally fine.
Okay, so jumping off of that point, so the first time I met Maekan in person was a very, very, first of all, it was a coincidence that we just happened to be in the same area. I was in the area because I was going to do like a, kind of like a job interview, and she happens to live close by, and so we went to Red Robin, I think it was, and we just had lunch, and it was awkward. Like, no lie, it was awkward, but like, we weren't talking the way we are now. It's like awkward.
I think it was just at the time we kind of just barely knew each other.
Right.
And then we just thought that, oh yeah, sure, maybe lunch will just break it. No, I think it just made it worse.
It made it worse. Yeah. But like, I mean, like, from that point onwards, it kind of got better. I think. And then eventually I introduced you to Whisper, and you guys actually met up at a convention, and that was a nightmare unto itself.
No, not gonna lie. When she came up to me and she's like, "Hi, you're Maekan." I'm just like, "Yeah, that's me." It's like, "I love your work," and I'm like, "This is like the first time I've had like a fan interaction. I don't know how to feel."
Yeah, it doesn't help that I'm the one that introduced her to you.
That was adorable though.
Yeah. And now I see you guys interacting on Instagram, and y'all are just being cute. And I'm like, huh, that happened. And I caused that to happen.
Yes,
like,
blessed for friendships. Woo!
Yeah. But yeah, a bit of that story is that they both were at the same convention somehow, and I had both of their phone numbers. And I was like, y'all should meet. And so I spent most of the time trying to be the middleman and like saying like, oh, she's at this area, go to here. And then she's like, where is that? And then Maekan was supposed to be in one spot, and then her group moved.
Yeah.
And so that was a nightmare. In the end, the best solution was for me to give Whisper Maekan's number and vice versa.
It worked out.
It worked out.
It worked out.
Yeah. It worked out.
Even though... Sorry.
No, yeah, good.
Like, even though, like, we don't really message each other, but, like, as our numbers, by our numbers, like, our cell phone numbers, like, we just message each other through Instagram. Mm-hmm. It worked out, gradually.
Yeah, of course.
That's such a great turnout, though.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Now we just need to get Phil to respond.
Phil is a very busy guy.
He is. Well, I can't say anything. I'm constantly busy, so I'm surprised I still have time to actually do anything, because lately I've only been able to work at night.
Oh, same. I tried to pull like when was it? It was a Tuesday or Thursday, because Tuesdays and Thursdays I have like a huge gap. This is before my work season started, right? So I would just be at school, and I'd kind of go back home because I had like a 6-hour gap, and then I'd come back because I had night classes. So I was able to like burn like and finish like all of these videos, and I would sleep at 1 or 2. It depended like on what I was working on. And I would still be able to get up and then, go back home and then take a nap and then go back to school again. And I tried that was it a couple weeks ago. This is when school started, work started, everything started. Mm-hmm. I was already in I think my second week of school. I got sick. No. I had I'm sorry. I had a really bad, terrible eye bags. I was 10 times more tired than usual. Even with coffee, it didn't work. It just made me feel worse. Mm-hmm. And then I had art projects upon art projects on top of each other. And there was a point where I couldn't sit at my desk. And I was devastated, because I was just like, I want to work on a video, but I don't have time anymore. Mm-hmm. So I have Fridays open, but then now since I'm working, I only have like a few hours before, my body tires out and I have to go to bed. But I try to get at least as much editing as I can to just put myself in a more satisfaction feeling, and a relief, I guess.
Right.
And, I can just go to sleep happy.
It's like me, it doesn't even ever get to that point, because I end up just sleeping in my computer chair, which is bad. It's bad for my neck too, to be honest.
Oh, it sucks, especially when your desk is like super cramped with a ton of things and there's little to no space to just let your head just like rest against it.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
I don't know why I decided to get like an external keyboard, because that's taking up more room on top of the drawing tablet that I'm using as a second screen now.
Oh.
So, drawing tablet in front of me, and then wireless keyboard, and then on a stand behind it is my actual laptop. And so that's just like a nightmare for me to try and figure out, like, how am I going to place this? Where am I going to place that? I have like 4 different external hard drives just like tucked away somewhere.
Oh my god.
So,
well, but if you think about it, having a dual monitor is actually very convenient.
It is. It's not as convenient if the monitors aren't lined up with each other, though.
That's also true.
But it's very helpful, especially if I'm editing stuff. But in terms of other stuff, I don't know how I'm managing.
No, yeah, because I have a dual monitor also. I have my laptop on my desk, and then I just added like an extra level for the extra monitor that I have, so it's uplifted.
Right.
So then I could just look up and then just, scroll my cursor all the way up, and then, the said program is on the spare monitor. Mm-hmm. So much more convenient. I could just,
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, productivity-wise, though, if I'm trying to edit a video, but I'm watching something else on the other screen, like that's I do that too.
Lags, yeah.
Or if not watching a video, then listening to music.
I have a Nintendo Switch, and then ever since that the Switch had introduced YouTube, I've kind of just let my Switch play music in the background because I also have a TV, and I kind of just use my Switch as my music player, or if I just want to like let, I don't know, because on YouTube I also watch gamers play video games, so I kind of just let their videos run in the background, so it's kind of just background noise.
Yeah, I know
kind of
that
like
feeling.
Game Grumps. Yeah.
I myself have gone down the rabbit hole of somehow I've ended up in the blacksmithing part of YouTube.
What?
I don't know why or how, but it's very satisfying.
What?
Okay,
really?
So I'll give you an example. So there's this one YouTube channel called, I think it's called Man at Arms, but they make a lot of fantasy weapons, including Final Fantasy or anime stuff.
Is it like... Oh, sorry. Is it like a cosplay...
No, not cosplay, like legit weapons.
Wait, what? Really?
Yeah. So, actually, let me go on my phone and look up the name. But yeah, so imagine like the Buster Sword from Final Fantasy, or like one of those big swords, or the long katana from the bad guy. And imagine that somebody actually makes it and then goes into a montage of slicing fruit.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, now you just gotta send me a video of this, just so I know.
If I can. But yeah, so that one was one that actually got me into the rabbit hole. And then I started following this one. He's a really, really young blacksmith. He's like 21 now, and he's from Britain. His name is Alex Steele, which is appropriate. So
that's convenient. Okay.
But yeah, so he does these really, really cool, like, cinematic montages with slow motion or time lapses, and he makes these really, really incredible things. And he started when he was like 13, I think, but like he was really young.
Jesus.
And now he has his own thing. Yeah, it's called Man at Arms. I'll send you one. I forgot they did like ruby weapons.
Ruby weapons are they look very complex to make, because I've seen like cosplayers that make their weapon out of foam, right, to kind of just fit the cosplay. But like even seeing a cosplayer making not even just like a ruby weapon, but like any weapon out of foam just seems so difficult.
All right, I sent you one of my favorite ones. The guys at that channel, they made Ryuko's scissor blade from Kill la Kill. And it's a legit sharp thing. So you don't have to watch it now, but it's kind of insane how they put these things together, and just watching some of the process. And they fit it into like a 15-minute window. Oh, they did Rose Quartz sword from Steven Universe. I forgot about that. Okay, I'm pulling myself out of this rabbit hole before this entire stream or podcast just turns into me gushing about blacksmithing for no reason.
I'm like low-key watching a bit of it. That's kind of fascinating.
Yeah.
I'm gonna send you, okay, there's like another rabbit hole, like, okay, if we're talking about rabbit holes, there's like one, I was kind of like scrolling through YouTube late at night. It was like 2-3 in the morning, and I stumbled upon clay molding, and there's this like Korean artist who makes Pokemon out of clay, and it's so cute for some reason. It's just so adorable. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna send it to you too. But yeah, I guess just the whole process of him just making the Pokemon, and it's so precise and so even.
I think I might have seen something similar to that, but it was Link from Legend of Zelda.
I'm gonna send you.
I doubt that's the same channel, but
I'm gonna send you Kai Ogre just because.
No! I was kiting like a god! Oh,
nice.
bad. I don't have lights.
Yeah, he's playing Apex. That's why.
Oh man, I'm not a gamer, so I'm like way behind on these kinds of games. So yeah,
My computer's not compatible. All I have is a laptop.
the last thing I attempted was Bennett Foddy, and then before that Doki Doki.
I still have Doki Doki on my laptop, and I'm at, you already know how it ends, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so I'm at the point where it was like, okay, the first arc is Sayori's arc, and then it's slowly going into Yuri's arc.
Okay.
I think Natsuki has already been killed off.
Okay.
Quote unquote killed off. But yeah, I haven't gotten to the cutscene with Yuri because I don't want to. So I kind of
know
just
what it is.
Yeah, because I already have Doki Doki.
Okay.
I have Doki Doki. I just didn't finish it, so it's just in my computer.
Of course.
Because I'm too scared to finish.
Oh man, I don't know. I find it fascinating and at the same time very hard to watch.
Yeah.
Like in a good way. Like it's a good game. It's a good concept. It may be like a one-off thing in terms of like a playing experience, but it's like yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Like I can't even imagine the people who had to draw and animate that.
Ooh.
Dan Salvato is kind of up there in terms of like the YouTube creepiness.
Well, I mean, if he's made a successful project out of it, nothing's really stopping him.
Yeah, here's to hoping that his next project is, just as good.
I mean, I did see a bit of, like, clues from within Doki Doki that it reveals, like, what game he's going to be making next. I've seen, like, some of those things. It was, like, I think I was watching, like, Matt Pat's video of, like, the theory.
I think that's the biggest video that kind of exposed a lot of it, but yeah. Yeah, I think it's kind of up there with Salad Fingers at this point, in terms of, like, the cult following, or the meme following.
Yep.
Because the memes that dropped out of Doki Doki were just, like, excellent.
I agree.
Alrighty then. Yeah. Okay, what else can we talk about? You want to ask me anything?
To talk about webtoons, but webtoons is like a whole nother thing. Ooh.
I need to catch up.
There's a lot of webtoons that's going on hiatus until like the springtime, which is pretty good for like, in your case, if you want to catch up, you have like so much time to catch up.
Yeah, definitely.
Or if you you're just, well, for my case, there are some that I'm still reading that are still going, but I'm kind of just letting it update it by itself, so then when I feel like reading it, I could just binge it. But
I don't know. I have a backlog of ones that I subscribe to, but I haven't touched yet because the main ones are kind of sucking me in. It's like I actually was supposed to start reading Loof a little while ago, and then I got sucked into like that one Mage and Demon Queen.
Oh, I need to read that one.
I like it. It's a little bit shorter than I'd like, but then again, like the quality kind of speaks for itself, so I don't mind. I think one that I really, really enjoyed was the Steam Train one.
Steam Train?
What's it called? I have it down here somewhere. It's from that one artist Merryweather or Merryweathery.
Oh wait. Isn't it Merryweathery also the artist for the Internet Explorer comic dub?
Yep, that's the one. That's the one.
Oh,
yeah.
I follow her on Twitter. I didn't know she had like another one.
Yeah, she actually posts that series on Webtoon as well.
Yeah, I follow the Internet Explorer one.
Yeah. but it's called the Steam Dragon Express. But the art style is actually more on the other artist, Pour Forever.
Oh.
It's
That's so cute.
It's a really, really nice art style. Like, I actually got some of the Clip Studio Paint brushes that Pour Forever has. They're free. And there is everything from clouds to chains to trees to grass. It's amazing.
Oh, that's so cute. It's so round.
They did that, and Merriweathery also has this one series called My Succubus Girlfriend.
Wait, did I sub to that one too?
You probably have. It's gotten relatively popular in like the romance category.
Oh shoot! Oh no!
But yeah, that's more of like, because that one is actually made by an entire team. And the quality is just like, again, through the roof. Let's see. I just finished Super Secret.
I need to finish that.
It's a really cute one. And then there's one that I think I mentioned to you, Yumi's Cells.
No.
I think it's one of the like original webtoons that is on here, because it's like the comic format is actually swiping from left to right rather than the actual scrolling up and down.
Huh.
Which is really weird to think about now, but I think it is like when you're on Webtoons and you want to share like a link, it'll actually show some of the characters from Yumi's Cells.
Oh.
So, yeah. That one's been on hiatus ever since November, actually.
Seriously?
Yeah. It was supposed to be like a 3-month-ish hiatus, but he's still out, so... Yeah. But yeah, that's actually what I'm... The concept is partially what I'm inspiring my own animated series to be off of. So, like, the concept of, like, little people in your head with different personalities. So, kind of like that, kind of like Inside Out, but, yeah. So, at the very least for Yumi's Cells, it's a lot more nuanced, because they just introduce so many different, like, little characters. So, like, they have characters for the left and right hand. They have characters for the stomach.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah, and then everything from, like, love to logic, or in his own it's called rational, anxiety, kindness. But like the way that it plays out almost like like there are some scenes that almost play out like a magical girl scenario in the real world, where it's like inside of her head, they're like charging up an electrical attack, and then in reality it's like a static shock. Stuff like that. And the way that he like makes like such over the top scenarios just to explain certain small things is like on par with like Nichijou levels of like weirdness.
Oh my god, Nichijou.
One of my absolute favorites in terms of animation. But yeah, imagine like a comic form of that. That's and then kind of condense it down.
That's so funny.
Yeah, I think like this isn't exactly a spoiler because it happens pretty much every other chapter, but if you can imagine like the town that the cells live in, like the little people, and then like they see a cute guy that the girl might like, and so that sets loose the quote unquote naughty cell who sets fire to the town, and then on the real world Yumi is just blushing.
That's so cute. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, now you just gotta. Okay.
Yeah, actually, the art style, it evolves over time, but the initial art style kind of reminds me of your like Hangouts avatar right now.
Oh really?
Yeah, the round face and the mouth and so on. But I don't know. That's just me gushing about one of my favorite webtoons of all time.
Oh, just send me the name in Discord and then I'll look it up in a little bit. If there's like another, okay, I don't know if you've heard of Strawberry Seafoam.
I actually just saw a banner for that when I opened the app.
Yeah, that is like, I subscribed to it when it was in Discover, and then when I saw that it was getting featured, I'm just like, oh, that's great. And then I subscribed to the featured version. But then I never really got a chance to sit down and read it because I'm just like, oh, maybe, I'll just give it a couple more weeks, you know, and then I'll just binge it. And I just kept saying that, and it's already past 60 episodes.
Oh, yeah. That's a lot to binge.
Yeah, but, you know, a gift for me, but it's also just like, dang, I have to catch up. But it's okay. I think that goes for, like, every webtoon that I follow, just, like, the mainstream ones.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I did that with I Love You, and then I also... Well, I'm also technically doing it right now for Super Secret. Mm-hmm. Even though I know that it's finished, I'm just not really binging it at the moment.
Yeah.
And then I'm trying to think of like another series. Miss Abbott and the Doctor. That's also another one that I'm kind of...
I don't think I've heard of that one.
It's really cute though, because it's like, okay, to me, it's like a Tarzan and Jasmine type of thing, but the girl, who's the main character, Miss Abbott, she's like a, if I remember correctly, she's like a traveler. So, and then she meets up with like a very polite doctor, and then, you know, they both get attracted to each other. And since Miss Abbott she hasn't really been at home a lot, her way of being proper is slightly different than everyone else, because, you know, she's always been traveling or she's been on like safari journeys, so she's always with, you know, wild animals or something, if that makes sense. Yeah, I've subscribed to that, but I haven't really been reading it. That's been kind of like on hold off, but the only ones that I'm like really caught up to is just like Siren's Lament and Let's Play. Let's Play is a good one too. Oh gosh.
Have you been reading Age Matters?
Actually, now you just reminded me of another comic that I need to catch up on.
Okay. Yeah, because, like, I'm not gonna say where exactly, but there's like a really, really blatant Let's Play reference. I
just recently saw a tweet from Kenny Comics of that the latest chapter of Age Matters just had had so many references. Like, I saw he screenshot he took a screenshot of martial law that was featured in the comic, and then it was the two characters from Mage and Demon Queen, and then I forgot the other two because I don't know where the other two are from, so I don't know. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I actually saw that earlier today before I hopped onto the call.
Yeah. So something to look forward to when you catch up to that chapter.
Yes.
There's I don't know. It's so interesting how like this is kind of linking back over to what we were saying about like our little community, is that the bigger community, well, I say bigger, but the ones who are like more prominently featured, like they have their own like close-knit community as well.
Yeah. And
they're able to put like references to each other in their own comics. It's like very specific too. So like the ones who do My Giant Nerd Boyfriend are friends with Shen, or friends with Dami Lee. And they did like the one comic where all of them were together, like in each of their updates. So it's like, that
was like the Christmas one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's kind of cool how like they all started where we are now, like, and even before then as nobodies.
It was like, I think this is kind of like a ramble, like something random, but I was kind of talking to a friend of mine about the whole how I got into YouTube and stuff like that. And she mentioned, because she asked me, she's like, oh, when was the first episode that you know, what was the day when you first released that first episode? I was like, oof, if I remember, it was like 2016. And then when I said it out loud, it kind of dawned on me. I was just like, wait, the first episode that I released was in 2016. And that was 3 years ago. Yeah. Almost technically, in the summer it's gonna be 4. Well, not really, but like, you know, technically 3 years ago. So I'm just like, what? Has it really been up for that long? I don't know. It's so strange, and how well things just came together.
Yeah.
Like how everyone like slowly leave together because of like maybe of a decision that you decided to do or something. So I'm just like, wow.
Actually, on that note, like, what's it called? A couple of my old Be More Chill covers from like a little while ago. Like I don't revisit my old covers every now and then. Like maybe I do, but it's like I kind of just leave them alone. And then I come back and I realize like, holy crap, there are like over 10,000 views. Like what the heck? But there is this one. Let me go back to the actual comment. So I don't know if you know of Jam Campasta. They do animatics from like Be More Chill. They're like a really good artist and whatnot. And like it didn't register. They just commented and said, "Hey, can I use this as background music for a Be More Chill related video?" And I was just like, "Yeah, sure." And then, like, you know, the video dropped, I noticed it, and then I looked at their sub count, and I realized, first of all, holy crap, they're famous. And second of all, like, holy crap, I followed you, and you inspired my art style slightly, and you're using my stuff, and I'm like, huh, how did that work out?
That's
like,
that's me when, like, people follow me on Twitter. I'm just like, whoa, wait. I've been following you since, like, you know, when you had, like, 50k subs. What? Like, I think it was, like... I baffled on this, like, early on. It was, like, months ago. But this is, like, James Digit. He's, like, a voice actor on YouTube. And I followed him for, like, a while. And then he followed me on YouTube. Oh, not YouTube. He followed me on Twitter. I was just like, oh, wait, he noticed me. Oh, Senpai noticed me. But yeah, it's just the little things.
Yeah, it's a nice feeling when like we get noticed by people that we look up to. I don't know. What do you think of the story that I'm kind of giving you of my like animated series so far?
I like it.
Like based off of the little that you know so far.
It's very interesting, and it's kind of like one of those realistically relatable comics, and I thought like that's really cute. It's like a slice of life thing.
Yeah,
I think that's just really cute.
Yeah, you can actually thank Whisper for some of those jokes because like I asked her for some prompts, and like she sent me a truckload of them that she has saved. It's like I asked for them, and she literally texted gasp in all capital letters, and then suddenly I got a flood of images in my text messages. I'm just like, Wizzy, you're too cute.
Oh
my goodness. Speaking of her, actually, I told her that I was recording with you because like I said, I just got off a recording call with her. She sent in all capitals gasp without me.
I mean, she can join if she wants to.
She can. I don't know if she's available though, because it's like an hour now, so it's like 10 for her. Also, I think she was eating dinner. I don't know.
Yeah, but you know, that's on her. I love her company. She's amazing. Please go subscribe to her and go follow her on Instagram.
I already did a lot of the shouting out for her in the last episode, but
yes.
Like, I said, want to join? She put ... yes.
Yes.
Alrighty then.
Probably just gonna hear me just gush with her.
You know what? Why not? Why not? Where is she? One thing though, because I had to record her audio too, and I asked her to send me the audio when it's done. She sent me a Google Drive link, and then I looked at it. And what I listened to was not her audio, but it was an instrumental for a different thing. The exact name of the file was Drop Pop Candy.
Oh, I love that song.
Oh, hello. There she is.
Oh, Lord. I love that song.
Sorry, I was gossiping about you, Wizzy.
What joke's on you? I got McDonald's.
Why is that the first thing you say?
Because I take McDonald's. It's delicious.
I love McDonald's.
Yeah, Wizzy, me and Maekan have been on this call for about a little bit over an hour, 20 minutes now.
Yeah.
We kind of just been rambling about webtoons, kind of gushing about people that we look up to and talking about you.
Aww,
Yeah.
I feel so special.
We also were talking about Midoriya and how, you know, it would have been better if it's... just kidding. We haven't even gone to, like, see the whole My Hero talk.
Yeah.
So, but, you know, we could probably save that for another day.
Maybe.
If we want to. Yeah.
Yay.
Andrew was just telling me about how you sent him a drop pop candy instrumental.
Oh yeah, that was by accident.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Actually, yeah, that kind of reminded me. I'm probably just going to upload this on Google Drive and just send you the link.
It's probably too big for Discord anyways, so...
Yeah, for an hour 41 minutes.
Think about how I feel. I'm recording audio and some screen capture just so I can, like, fit it together. And these screen capture videos usually take up, like, 7+ gigs.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, big sad.
Yeah.
Wait,
Thankfully, it's not like a time-lapse video where I have to, like... There's a lot of stuff on screen, so it's literally just the Google Hangouts window, so...
That's true.
Yeah.
Oh, look at the pretty lady.
Are you talking about yourself, Wizzy?
No, I'm trash.
What do you mean?
Oh my gosh, if we had Phil, we'd have the wannabe-aboos. Whoa!
I can message him real quick if he's available.
Yeah, if he's available right now, just send him the Discord link. But other than that, like... I mean, it's fine.
Well, it does say he's idle on Discord.
He randomly followed my art account on Twitter.
Oh, he
I was
loves
like-
art. He also sends me random art pieces at some point. I'm just like, oh, it's great. And I also send him like random puppy videos from Twitter.
It's like me and Wizzy on Instagram. She just sends me the weirdest things.
No. No.
Do you want me to pull up one of the things you sent me, Wizzy?
You wouldn't dare.
I wouldn't pull it up on screen, but I can at least describe it.
Or you could send it to Maekan.
I have like random pictures. Okay, there was a point where I was like, we were talking and we sent random pictures of each other. And we were just like reminiscing in the moment because I miss you.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I sent Maekan one of the things you forwarded me, Wizzy.
Which one is it?
It's one of the shaggy ones.
Oh, yay.
Shaggy is a blessed meme.
Our Lord and God Shaggy.
Why are we like this?
Why not?
Crazy. Oh my god! Wait! I think I low-key saw this. Oh wait, no I didn't. But I hate Shaggy so much. Do you know Narmak? The animator?
Yes. Yeah.
He, oh shoot, no, it's not Narmak. Oh shoot.
It's like Nummark or something like that.
Yeah, he's the one that did like the SpongeBob opening.
Yeah,
and
if SpongeBob was an anime.
Oh, yeah,
SpongeBob was an anime. But anyways, that's something totally random. I just thought of like Narmak or something as like a different person. But Mary Weathery did like the Shaggy versus Saitama comic.
Oh yeah.
I forgot. I don't know why I mixed up Narmak and Mary Weathery. But
I mean, it's pretty
I don't
epic
know.
either way, so.
Yeah. Shaggy was too strong.
I misentered that thing I wanted to voice act.
Oh.
Oh, no.
What is it?
Maekan, did Wizzy tell you about the thing that she wants to voice act?
Oh no, she just sent it to me.
You recognize that, right?
I know that one, yes. Oh my god, my brother was the one that showed me the the telephone one. The telephone Punko.
Yeah,
He-
it's the
he-
telephone one.
He showed that to me at like 3 a.m. He's like, Ate, go look at this. I'm just like, what? And then he had it, so he always has his phone connected to his Bluetooth speaker, right?
Oh god.
And he carried his speaker with him, and then he's like, Ate, watch this. And then you hear the phone ring, and then you just hear the hamster, Moshi Moshi. And you just hear like the other person on the other end. And then the hamster's just like, ah, nandesu ka? Or something. And then, you know, the person on the other line is like, oh, say this. And then he's like, oh, mango! And then you just hear, ah!
Yes, that's the one I want to voice act.
I saw that.
Everyone who's listening in, if I decide to leave this in, no one's gonna know what we're talking about.
That means you are very innocent. You're doing a job well done.
Good job. All we're going to say is a hamster and a telephone.
Yes.
That's all you need to know, because holy crap. Okay.
Just Google it, it's fine.
No.
Can you imagine my reaction though, Maekan, when Wizzy sent that to me?
I bet you were just kind of
She
like
was-
staring at your phone, and then it took you like about a couple minutes before you text back or replied back with a why period.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's pretty much what I did.
Are you
Did I
serious?
send you that at work? When you were at work.
I was at work and you sent me that, and I was just like, first of all, I am so thankful I'm wearing headphones, because my supervisor watches anime as well, so knowing him, he knows those. He probably recognizes the words, so I'm like, oh goodness.
Oh no.
But yeah, I'm just like, my first reaction was like, why? And my second reaction was, please tell me that you're not gonna have someone else voice acting the next part with you.
The person on the telephone.
No.
She said she's gonna leave the Japanese guy's voice alone. I'm just like, I don't know if that's better or not.
I kind of agree with you on that. I don't know what's worse. Having someone dub it for you, or leaving the original audio in there.
Oh goodness.
Or how about I just cut out his voice entirely?
I mean, it's better.
The
Or unless you
subtitles are
like
still
add the screaming meme. It's like a I don't know what the screaming is. I can't explain it. I can't even do it because it's like very high pitched. But I'll probably send it to you later.
Oh god. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh goodness. So I think what we've established so far is that we three are a squad and we send each other memes.
Yes.
So basically every other squad in existence.
Yes.
Yeah, we're the best squad. We'll be T-posing on all the other squads.
Oh goodness. To kind of like catch Whisper up on what we were talking about, I kind of described how I got you two to meet
Yeah.
and how much of a nightmare that was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was super nervous. I was like, she's so good. I can't talk to her. I'm just a loser.
What do you mean? I was nervous too. I was like, wait, there's people meeting up with me to tell me that they like my work. Oh no! Yeah, I was screaming earlier. Oh man, but
Super nervous.
it was a very interesting experience.
Yeah, I was like only in California for like 3 days, and then Anime Expo was just like on one of those days. I was like, Mom, let me go. I want to go. And you're like, cool, okay. It's like, you have any friends there? I'm like, no. I have internet friends. Yeah.
The first, the person that was with you though, was also an internet friend, right?
Yeah. He plays Taiga for Where Tangents Meet. And he was there, and I was like, yo, let's meet up. Because I'm alone and I don't know anyone. So,
Oh, Taiga.
Taiga.
Oh wait, have you gotten to that episode where Taiga's introduced?
Yeah, that's episode 5. I just didn't make the video for it because I don't know how.
I would say I would offer to help, but I'm also kind of busy.
Yeah, that's okay.
Like I want to, and I would really like to, but then I also have like a ton of things that I'm editing for like other people. I'm just like, wait, I forgot I'm editing this too. Oh, and
It's okay.
it just keeps piling up. I swear.
I'll just send you the audio if you just want to edit the thing. If you want to.
Is the audio finished?
Thing. How to speak. Bleh.
Is it like finally mixed?
Sure. Yeah. I think it's okay to me, I think. But yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you could just send it to me. I can't promise you anything that I'll probably get it done for you, but just,
Yeah,
you know.
no, it's okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
goodness. Hashtag maybe.
Yeah! Woo!
Oh, hashtag maybe.
Our little
And hashtag
ship names.
Spyraka.
Woo! Hashtag maybe.
Just to give some context, Maekan really loves Dabi.
Woo!
Whisper is obsessed with Deku. and my best girl happens to be Uraraka.
Woo!
So we have our ship names, two of which I've actually created because me and Wizzy were talking about it. Whisper and Deku is hashtag Whisku,
Yay.
Woo!
to the point where she turned it into a comic on its own.
I did.
I love it. I ship.
I was messing around with Whisper because I was talking about me and Uraraka, and I was just like, please do not just make it hashtag Spyraka. And then she went with it.
Yeah, I drew a thing for him.
She drew this thing, if I remember to put it on the screen, but yeah, she drew that artwork of me with her, and I'm just like, you're too nice.
It's so adorable. Oh, I
Making me
ship.
melt. And then, like, I don't know how it works out so perfectly that Maekan and Dabi ends up being maybe.
Maybe. I love it. Now I gotta make you a picture too.
Ooh, I feel honored. Ooh.
Yeah. Because I already have my picture as my Instagram and whatever handle.
I'll
Like,
probably
the-
make
the
that
pi-
one as like my Discord icon, or maybe Twitter. Who knows?
Aw. I feel so special.
I know during Halloween I made the witch picture that you drew for me. I made that one as my Twitter icon, and for my outro cards during the month of October, I should have made the Christmas icon that you made as outro cards during Christmas. But
Oh,
it was my
yeah,
Twitter
yeah.
icon for like a really long time.
I was like, Christmas thing. I don't remember doing a Christmas thing.
It's been a while.
It has.
Yeah.
Yeah. I need
It's
to
fine,
get
though.
to him feeling that.
It's fine. We can save
okay.
it for next year.
Exactly.
Gives me more time to mix it.
We're saving. We're prepping ourselves for next year.
We're not late for last year. We're early for this year.
Yeah, we're for early for
We're
2019.
so early.
Oh, good
Super
lord.
duper early.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, I understand with what Phil went through, but it's perfectly fine. Yeah. Oh, speaking of, like, well, not speaking of Phil, but kind of on a bit of a tangent, have you guys heard of this one project called Okamoto Kitchen?
No.
It's been all over Twitter and Kickstarter. So basically, think food truck and gaming, the anime.
Wait, Okamoto.
You might have seen it, Maekan. You might have seen it because
Okay.
PM Seymour does a voice in it. Christina V is doing a voice in it. They're like doing a Kickstarter campaign, and it's like kind of like blowing up on the art Twitter.
Okamoto.
Kitchen.
Oh, they look so cute.
It is like one of the best things I've ever seen, and it is like I'm seeing the concept arts and stuff from the updates on the Kickstarter. I'm just like, I need more of this in my life.
Oh yeah, like I low key saw this ish.
I literally went and backed it on Kickstarter because I want this to be a reality.
Wait,
Like-
is this going to be an anime, or is this going to be like a?
It's
a
going.
game?
They're making their own like anime. They have an entire team of voice actors, animators. There's a current episode 0 that's kind of unfinished, but it's sort of like a recap of what the story will be, and like it's like half animated, half animatic. It's like the girl, the main girl is like fully animated, and it's like the quality is like top level. It's like that good.
I just recently saw Christina V, right? You're mentioning
Yep.
how Christina V. Yeah, I just recently saw a tweet that she's now a voice in she's a voice for one of the Fortnite characters.
What?
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
that too.
Yeah, I just saw that tweet actually. Yeah, and
Should
the
I be proud or disappointed?
character actually kind of looks like her too.
What?
But yeah, Okamoto Kitchen, just so that I can have it on your guys' radar because it is like really, really excellent.
The art is really cute.
And like it's not just food truck as well; it's also like gaming related somehow. 'Cause I think the main love interest is like a national gamer or something like that.
Mhm.
But like some of the concept art they're showing is like they're showing the rival food trucks,
Mhm.
And it's like Shokugeki no Soma Food Wars all over again.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, this needs to happen.
What else do you guys want to talk about?
It's a whole mood.
I mean, we can talk about whatever. I kind of want to close out the podcast portion, and then we can just keep on chatting afterwards.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I'm kind of more focusing this on you, Maekan, since you were the initial guest for this one. Since Whisper already answered some of these questions. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'll ask the same questions. Well, some of the same questions because that's what I have written down. But I guess for future episodes we'll do different questions. So, first question: what is your go-to order at your favorite hometown restaurant, if at all?
When I immediately think of like hometown restaurant, I think of the local pho mai that's by my house.
Just
And I always get like wonton soup with yellow noodles and sprig rolls with my order, because that's literally comfort food. And I had that when I was like super sick, so it was like maybe my second day when I was super sick, and it was just getting worse and worse. So my family was just like, hey, do you want pho? And I'm just like, yes, I would love pho. I ordered it, I ate it, even though I can't really taste or like what it tasted like, because I can't like I couldn't smell anything. I was just like, it still tasted good. Like I could just, if I just imagine hard enough with my eyes closed, I could just taste it.
Aw, nice.
Yeah, that's what I would go to.
All right. What do you wish you had known when you started out, like on YouTube or on the internet?
If I had the knowledge of all of my editing experience back then, I don't know what I would turn out to be now.
oh, you'd be like the master editor.
I don't even know, man. I don't know. But I guess I'm okay with how things worked out. Even if like, you know, way back when I started was like super cringy. But at the time, that's when I thought like, I think this will be, you know, okay enough. I think this will be like presentable, I think, at least. And I think that mindset that I had was a great way to start, because I didn't really look down at myself on, you know, just like, oh, this is terrible, or, you know, this is not going to get any views or something, or it's not going to get noticed or anything. So I guess my mindset about just trying it out was a pretty good choice, because, you know, I met so many good people and now they're like super great friends of mine. But then again, if I had the knowledge, the editing knowledge that I have to back then, it's possible maybe it would have blown up a bit quicker, and things might have turned out far more differently. But with how it ended up now, I'm totally fine with it.
All right. I think one last question we can do is, if you could compare yourself with any animal, what would it be and why?
I got you. It would be a sloth, dude. It would be a sloth.
Nice.
Okay. Okay. My friends call me Fish because there was a time in high school I was just like a really big airhead, and I wasn't aware of a lot of things. And I even tell this to all of my students, because I'm a volleyball coach. So I tell this to all of my students. If I forget your name, I apologize, because I have really bad memory. So they call me Fish, and then my friends kind of symbolized Magikarp as my mascot. So I kind of just stuck with it. So I'm just like, okay. But I always tell my friends I'm probably a sloth too, because all I just want to do is sleep, and I'm really slow at things.
Oh, girl, same.
Yeah, I'm really slow at things.
All right. Okay, so I think we'll wrap up the podcast portion, and then we can continue chatting afterwards. But do you have a sign-off that you want to do, Maekan?
Make sure to like and subscribe to Spywi and Wizzy.
Not even promoting
That's
yourself.
your
Not even promoting yourself.
Nope.
It's just promoting us.
Nope, just promoting you guys. If I'm
Alright.
lucky, that's great. You guys, I don't post a lot, so you guys get to see a lot of old content. But
Well, neither. I don't post a lot either.
yeah, but subscribe to Spywi and Wizzy. Woo!
All right, but like seriously, if people want to find you, where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube.
All right,
They all have the
perfect.
same handler. Handle.
Oh goodness. Alrighty then, I'll just sign off here then. Okay. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. God bless, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.
Bye.
Beep.